plenty of those ready-to-eat meals for everyone who needs it. Of course, the goal is for everyone who does need those ready-to-eat meals, need that clean drinking water, that they have the opportunity to get their hands on it. Now is the time. If you're sitting at home, if you happen to be watching us live right now is the time. If you need those essential items to get out here. We were told by some of the National Guardsmen that we spoke with that they started around 9 o'clock, but they do anticipate that they will wrap up here at Denham Springs High School around 6 o'clock tonight. Of course, they do want to make sure that you get those essential items, but they do have other duties, of course, as those search and rescue operations are still underway in some places. But again, if you do want to get out here and get those ready-to-eat meals, get that clean drinking water, if you're near Denham Springs High School, now is the time to do it. I was told that they will wrap at 6 o'clock tonight here at Denham Springs High School, so that's a little more than an hour away. So, Donna, if people out there need those ready-to-eat meals, need that clean drinking water, they need to get in the car and get to Denham Springs High School right now. That's the latest here at Denham Springs High School. Again, this is going on right outside the Grady Hornsby Gym. If you need that clean drinking water, you need those ready-to-eat meals, the National Guard is here until 6 o'clock to get that to you.
Thank you very much, Scotty Hunter. And by the way, viewers, if you are witnessing relief efforts underway, turn the camera sideways on your phone, shoot pictures, and send it to 9reports@wafb.com. Also, we appreciate video, too. It's a way of sharing our experience here in South Louisiana and South Mississippi.
Yeah, we're getting some pictures inside Glen Oaks High School, so we're going to get to those here shortly. Let's get right now, though, to Alan Henry. He is in Galvez, where they've got a little situation underway. Alan.
That's right, Greg and Donna. As you can see, the water has started to recede a little bit in a little bit of time we've been out here today. But as you can see behind me there are still plenty of cars still underwater. A lot of damage done to a lot of the homes in this community. And as you can see over here, they've already started some of the relief efforts. They are starting to actually pull some of the cars out of the water. And the Louisiana State Police that I've been talking to today are asking all the viewers, anybody listening to this, to keep in mind that even though the water's receding, even though the rain, it's nice and sunny out right now, that you need to be careful on the roads still. There's still a lot of damage, a lot of asphalt that's been pulled up from the roads. Even though the water may be receding just a little bit, it doesn't look as deep as it might actually be. It only takes about 6 or 12 inches of water to start to keep your car moving. Even if it's not raining, even if nothing's moving at all, you need to be careful on the roads. As you can see, luckily, nobody was in that car. The family that was in it is safe now. They're starting to pull it out, obviously. But they're asking everybody, keep in mind, the sun may be shining, but we're not exactly out of the woods yet.
Thank you very much, Alan. We appreciate coming in. That's another one of our folks that are coming in from other stations that have been able to help us out as we can give some of our folks a break. So even like the first responders bringing folks in, we've been able to tap into our Raycom nation and bring in some folks to help tell the story.
I would like to remind you that we need to file with FEMA. All right, we have been declared 20 parishes national disaster declaration areas. And that you don't really have to be declared yet. If you're in a parish, look at West Baton Rouge not being in there. That's amazing and wonderful for West Baton Rouge if it's not something they need to have done. But you need to go ahead and file if you feel that you might deserve help from the federal government because you have suffered a lot in this flooding situation. And there are forms that you'll want to fill out, but the 800 number you see there is also on this page. Look in the middle, 800-621-3362. But if you have power, if you have access to a computer, go to disasterassistance.gov because you want to fill out the forms. This is even before you're declared. The governor has told us that you can go ahead and file it now. And it's important to do that, including all your personal information, including your Social Security, your address of your damaged home. Be specific because they're going to send FEMA inspectors to your home to see the damage. You want to describe what your damage is, and then info that you have about insurance coverage. And even though you have insurance coverage, you may still qualify for FEMA help. Put a contact number and a mailing address, also your bank account and writing numbers. Now, do not do this if you get some kind of email that says it's from FEMA. That is a fraud, okay? You want to go to the website, disasterassistance.gov, to fill out this information. It's secure on that website.
Let's get to Graham Elkins in the Alert Center. Graham.
Yeah, guys, just wanted to share with you, of course, a big part of this story, this flooding disaster, is that the national media is not paying enough attention to the scope and scale of this disaster. So just wanted to share with you some of the celebrity tweets out there, the celebrities who are actually raising the profile of this and helping us out in the process. Drew Brees, not surprisingly, was one of the very first high-profile people to tweet about this, and he actually did it on August 13th, which was on Saturday, before the full scale of this was really even realized. He said, "Tough situation in Baton Rouge and South Louisiana. Prayers go out for everyone's safety." Wendell Pierce, it's been reported too that he lost his home in Baton Rouge. The actor, "My neighbors and I have flooded, reminded of the generosity given to my family during Katrina. Now we will care for you." And he's tweeted several other times since then, saying, "In our darkest hours, faith and family is all we have and all we need." And he also called out the folks of Star Hill, Louisiana, says we take care of each other in Louisiana, and then also gives out the information for the local Red Cross and the Baton Rouge Food Bank. That was nice of him to tweet that. Ellen DeGeneres, of course, from Louisiana, tweeted, "Louisiana, I love you," and gave that LA Floods 90999 Red Cross information. Ian Somerhalder, an actor from The Vampire Diaries, said, "Louisiana, I love you. This flooding is horrific. Help on the ground. More on the way." He also, just today, about an hour ago, tweeted a link about the Cajun Navy on CNN. So these stories are slowly starting to get out there, thanks in part to celebrities like this who are tweeting. Lady Gaga also tweeted today, "My thoughts and prayers to all of our loved ones in Louisiana suffering through the flood. My family and I are donating to the relief effort." She didn't specify how much she is donating, but said she is. And also, of course, Taylor Swift announced that she is donating $1 million to the cause, a big donation. So these high-profile celebrities certainly helping bring national and even international attention to South Louisiana. Greg and Donna.
Thank you, Graham.
Much,
we appreciate it. Our neighbors right here in East Baton Rouge Parish are suffering as well. Let's get to North Baton Rouge area now. Monticello took on some damage, as well as Silverleaf. There was still water just a few days ago. Most of the waters went down. This is inside the Glen Oaks Library. Take a look there. That is just, it almost breaks your heart. So many good things come out of a library, and to see that, it just really gets you. This is in the front part of the building there, and the iconic letters that says Glen Oaks High School on the outside, those were halfway underwater at one point during the storm. Now, a lot of the water has went down, but you can even see in that picture how high it was. It was just over the bleachers there, and to see it in a library and to see it taking on the books and so many things, I fell in love with broadcasting in the library in my elementary school in Kentucky. So the kids in those libraries, you never know what's going through their mind and how that might prepare them to be a tremendous adult. And when you see the libraries and schools affected, it really gets to you. So that's what Glen Oaks Glen Oaks High School looked like there. Inside, we have gotten a report from Monticello that things are getting better, but they've had some issues on Silverleaf. We'll keep checking on our friends there in North Baton Rouge.
Yeah, a friend of mine on Monticello Boulevard actually sent me a picture of a mail truck. He said it could be a sign that we're near the end. Let's go to Steve Caparata for an update now. Steve?
Yeah, guys, when you think about it, you kind of prioritize things. The loss of life is up there at the top, but right behind it is the loss of our homes, you might say, as 1A, and then our schools, 1B. That's going to be such a huge part of this story going forward, how the schools are recovering and how long is that going to take. Let's update you on the weather now. We do have some showers rolling through the area. Fortunately, not seeing a lot of lightning with these, as many are still out and about, either trying to recover or trying to get to the store just to get some of the basic needs, trying to get cleaning supplies, but you may encounter a little bit of a downpour, so just want you to keep that in mind. We'll zoom in a little bit closer to Baton Rouge. We had a shower that passed right over the airport through Baker and Zachary. That's now headed up near Jackson on the east side of St. Francisville. We've got some rains rolling up towards Livonia right now, and then a little bit of a rain in Ascension, where we're still watching the water. Just gotten a message on Twitter not long ago from a lady on Bayou Paul Road saying the water's still rising here. When can we expect it to stop? And my answer to her was, watch what's happening with a couple of gauges along Alligator Bayou Road. You need those gauges to level out before there's any hope for that water to stop rising. So as long as that water is still spilling over Bayou Manchac into Bluff Swamp, Spanish Lake, that's going to be headed your way. Pretty heavy downpour around Convent, and we're dealing with rising water, backwaters in St. James, St. John the Baptist parishes. We've seen some pictures this afternoon along I-10 where you're starting to see some of that water creep up around St. James and St. John. So we're going to have increased concern. This has been such a long event. and that continues to be the case around the area. Showed you some of the stages earlier, but just to give you a look again. Maurepas is our primary concern in terms of where water is either cresting or may still be coming up. It's nearing the crest, it looks like, at 5.7 feet. And then we're watching these backwater flooding areas in Ascension, St. James, and St. John the Baptist parishes. Let me give you a look at one other thing before we kind of wrap it up here, and just a reminder of the time of year. By the way, as a point of history and trivia, today is the anniversary of Hurricane Camille's landfall, hitting first near Boothville and then headed up to its landfall past Christiana, Mississippi. And on this date, now in 2016, we got a new tropical storm out in the Atlantic, Fiona. We'll be talking more about this coming up on 9 News at 5 as we reset here in a few minutes, guys.
Thank you.
All right, you heard Steve talk about it. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to reset here and bring you coverage from all the different spots, all of them being affected. We'll be back here shortly in about a few minutes to talk more about the 2016 historic flooding coverage.
Now, from Louisiana's News Channel. Now, from Louisiana's News Channel, this is 9 News at 5.
Good evening and hello again, everyone. I'm Donna Britt.
I'm Greg Merriweather. Our historic flooding coverage continues. Let's bring you up to date now on what we know about what has been our flood emergency.
The number of Louisiana residents staying in shelters is falling. It's 6,000 remaining sheltered now, down from the more than 11,000 earlier this week.
More than 40,000 homes have been damaged by the floods. 40,000. We're now being told 30,000 people. Can you believe that? 30,000 people were rescued from the storm, and also 1,400 pets.
And sadly, the death toll climbed to 12 today. with the body of a man found in a flooded home in the South Point subdivision in Denham Springs.
Cleanup is underway in many places. Take a look at this. It's just enough to take your breath away. This is the Acadiana Place subdivision in Watson, and this reflects what's going on in a lot of subdivisions all throughout our viewing area. People pulling out their damaged furniture and carpet, all their other belongings just left there on the curb to be picked up. Street after street looks like this all throughout Watson and, of course, here in East Baton Rouge Parish.
Many of you want to know the latest on the river levels, and our meteorologist, Steve Caparata, is with us now with that.
All right, thank you, Donna. As a reminder, everybody going back in these flooded homes, especially if you have respiratory issues, wear a mask or something. Take that mold and mildew issue seriously. That's something you need to worry about. We do have scattered showers lifting up to the northwest right now. We're going to take you on a little bit of a tour. Radar shower near Donaldsonville. Another one now, a big downpour rolling through Convent. We got some showers, heavy rains out over the Atchafalaya Basin. Rain near and west of Plaquemine. Bruley, Addis now seeing a pretty good downpour as well. We had one that rolled across the airport, Baker, and parts of Zachary. Another storm now is moving up the river just east of False River. Taking a little farther north, we've got some action here in West Feliciana Parish, east of 61. Jackson, you've got showers and on either side of you, and then a little bit of a shower popping up near Woodville right now. We keep emphasizing this just in case you haven't heard. These rains are not likely to do anything to the rivers. They're nuisance rains in most cases. But what we will watch is where you get a heavy downpour. Some neighborhoods are going to have a tough time draining right now. So you could get some localized areas where waters come back for a short amount of time. Backwater in Ascension Parish, the worst of it that we're looking at right now is where it's spilling over from Bayou Manchac. So these gauges at Alligator Bayou and also the one Bluff Swamp, they're still slowly coming up. So those of you around Bayou Paul and St. Gabriel seeing the water, it's still on the way up. Most other spots, it's kind of leveling out. Even around Sorrento and Pelican Point, we've seen a little bit of a rise, but I'm thinking that's going to start to level out as well. Blind River, this one appears to be leveling out, but St. James, St. John the Baptist parishes, Garyville, one of the only gauges down there, it's still on the way up. So high water there. Bayou Sorrel's high, but kind of level. False River is very high still, but again, at least the trend has been down a little bit from yesterday. We'll check out more river stages and what's ahead through the remainder of the week in a few. Donna.
Thank you, Steve. Well, many of you will remember from Hurricane Gustav, they had drive-through distribution points for water and other supplies.
Our Scotty Hunter is in Livingston Parish now, where they've been doing just that all day long. Scotty.
Yeah, that's right, Greg. Donna, we've been out here just outside Denham Springs High School for much of the day, where we've seen a number of people drive through this distribution center. I'm going to jump out of the way and let you take a look. The National Guard is here handing out these ready-to-eat meals and water. You see that water about to go into the back of this truck here. It's an easy process. All you have to do is pull up. We've been hearing, how many do you have? People have been shouting out random numbers of how many people that they have to feed inside their homes, and the National Guardsmen are taking care of them. Again, we do want to point out that this is one of several locations across our area that are doing these distribution locations for those ready-to-eat meals and water. But this is the final hour, we're told, here at Denham Springs High School. So if you do want to get those ready-to-eat meals and that clean drinking water, those much-needed essential items, now is the time to get in your car and head out to Denham Springs High School. They will wrap here at 6 o'clock.
Thank you very much, Scotty.
The outlook is not good for dozens of schools in our viewing area, mainly a lot of them damaged by the floods, of course. We learned today Denham Springs High School could be closed for 2 to 3 months. Other schools in the parish closed until further notice.
Ascension Parish Schools said today 6 of their schools flooded. All schools there closed at least through the end of the week.
East Baton Rouge schools are definitely closed until the rest of this week. West Baton Rouge is set to return on Thursday. We have more on the school closings on WAFB.com. Now, one school with problems is the Cristo Rey School in the Girard area, St. Girard area there of Baton Rouge.
We sent our Cheryl Mercedes there to survey the damage.
We started classes on the 8th. They had 1 week of classes, and that was it.
And just to show the viewers, the ground is completely just stopped up with, it's drying out a little bit now, and all you see is mud.
This is our science class.
Whoa.
Like I said, we...
Whoa, and that goes to more classrooms, and just look at the things knocked over and ruined.
Yeah, and Said you can see the water line here came up just about under the air conditioning units. So now we're looking at an alternate site that we hope to secure very quickly, and look at starting on a temporary location. After we get that started, we'll assess what the damage here and what it will take to get back into this facility if we can, and how long it would take.
And then we enter the old Redemptorist High School gym, the home of the Wolves. So many basketball games, wrestling matches, and those high school dances that took place here for so many years. And the floors are buckled.
So it's disheartening. I've lived in Baton Rouge for 40-some years. I was, family that graduated from Redemptorist, and I spent a lot of time in here looking at games and things like that. So it is tough.
It is just heartbreaking to think 1 week into a brand new school in this community that so many waited for, worked 2 years to get here, to see it under this condition. Folks, if you can help out, please do your best. Reporting now from the old Redemptorist High School gym, which is now Cristo Rey. Back to you.
And part of the problem there in the St. Jared neighborhood, that Hurricane Creek runs right through there, and a lot of that overtopped its boundaries and caused some big problems there. We're going to keep thinking about those folks in that area. All right, some of the most telling video of the power of Mother Nature's flooding. It's come from huge grocery stores that took on water.
One of those is the WinnDixie store in Walker. Our Kieran Chala just filed this report from there.
We're at the WinnDixie in Walker, and just in the time that we have been out here, several different people have come by to see if it is open. Obviously, many people need groceries, but unfortunately, there are 2 signs up that say we will be back better than ever. We're closed until further notice. We had significant water damage. You can see the water line right about here. They took on about 2 feet of water. Let's see if we can try to show you. I mean, you see everything just laying on the floor, and this is the damage to the WinnDixie in Walker. So if it took on about this much water, that can kind of tell you that the bottom probably 2-3 aisles, the bottom 2-3 rows in these aisles, everything just picked up, floated around. It is literally all over the store. And James, can we try to come to this door and see if we can kind of give people a different view from right here? See if you can look in. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I don't think I need to say any more words. Now, right behind us over on that side, that's actually a pharmacy that they are trying to put up, a makeshift pharmacy. It is not up just yet. They are trying to get that up in the next coming days. So if you rely on the Walker WinnDixie for your pharmacies, just know that they are trying to work as fast as they can to get this pharmacy up and running. No word yet if it'll be tomorrow or in the next day or as quickly as they possibly can. For now, we are in Walker at the WinnDixie. We'll send it back to you.
Karen, thank you. Stay safe.
Our friend Ed Pratt emailed us saying he knew life in his neighborhood was somewhat returning to normal when he saw this today. It's the postman. He was delivering mail to Mr. Pratt and his neighbors along Monticello Boulevard in Baton Rouge. Now, that's not the case still for many of you. What we've been told is if mail carriers cannot get to your home, you can pick up your mail at the post office that services your area. Now, that's usually the one closest to your house. But
Yeah, because a lot of people, though, have been flooded out, though, in their post office, too. So if the post offices are closed, take a look at this here. If you get mail in the Greenwell Springs area, specifically the 70739 zip code, your mail is being held at the Zachary Post Office. Now, Baton Rouge is zip code 70818. That mail is going to go to the Scotlandville Post Office. They'll hold it there for you. All you have to do is show up with your ID. And if you're in the Denham Springs area, the 70726 zip code, you can pick up your mail at the main Bluebonnet Boulevard Post Office here in Baton Rouge. Now you can actually get in and out of Denham Springs, so you'll have to come to the Bluebonnet Boulevard Post Office. Now, if you're a postal worker in Baton Rouge, they'd like for you to check in. We'll give you the number a couple times so you can write it down. It's 888-363-7462. These are for postal workers. They'd like you to check in. 888-363-7462.
all right, the phone lines are now open for those looking for emergency food stamps through what's known as the DSNAP program. Now, if you are calling, you should be calling for the first 4 parishes that were designated. That's what we heard the governor say today at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center. Call 888-524-3578. Once you call, you press option 3 and option 3 again Phone lines are open from 7 in the morning until 7 at night for the people in the first 4 parishes declared national disaster areas.
Okay, so relief and donations are starting to pour in literally from all over the world. Walmart stores today donated $500,000 to the relief efforts here. And you might have heard Taylor Swift, who had that huge concert over there at Tiger Stadium, $1 million for South Louisiana. And people know all too well about disasters in our area. The people of Gulfport, they are included in that. They were devastated by Hurricane Katrina. I was there reporting for Channel 9 back then, and the Raycom News Network has stepped up for us and offered Doug Walker, who came in with a huge load and a huge ride of generosity.
The 18-wheeler convoy from Gulfport arrived, surrounded by more than 200 volunteers. An assembly line of goodwill was soon in operation. Citizens put together this relief effort quickly and efficiently.
These are private sector people that are coming together and seeing what needs to be done. These are people that are used to making decisions and getting things done on a regular basis.
Clergy are here to offer comfort at a time of great need.
We're crying with them and hurting with them and giving them support to help them get through it and to recover.
Despite the tough times, there are reasons to smile.
We had 3 trucks from Alabama show up this morning. We have Gulfport, Mississippi here now doing this. It means so much. I think we just all come together in times of need.
And that need is great for all flooding victims.
There was no warning for this, so we lost so much stuff. So the fact that Gulfport, a city that was hit by a hurricane so hard themselves, and I guess they understand and they know, for them to have it in their hearts to bring us supplies means everything.
These trucks are a gift that will keep on giving for a long time.
Thank goodness for the call from the Mayor Billy, and he said he's got some stuff coming and can we help him distribute it, and we said absolutely. We know a lot of people that need it.
They also know it's going to be put to very good use. In Baton Rouge, Doug Walker for the Raycom News Network.
Oh, we love our friends there.
Good people in Gulfport.
Natasha Robin is in St. James Parish. She's also part of the Raycom News Network. Natasha?
There's water getting close to some homes, we hear.
Yes, it is getting very close to homes, and the National Guard is here in St. James Parish with high water vehicles, boats, and supplies just in case if it's needed. I'm standing right now on Longview Street. That's in Paulina near Grand Point, and you can see the water is rising. You can see what's going on here behind me. The water has come up quite a bit since yesterday, now creeping as I mentioned, much closer to homes. Sandbags surround hundreds of homes in this area. People have been preparing here for days. We're told the parish handed out 50,000 sandbags, a record for St. James Parish. Behind the homes on Longview Street, there's a drainage canal that feeds into the Blind River. Backwater from that river is causing all of the problems here. Tensions are high in this community, and people really do not know what to expect. So at this point, they are preparing for the worst. Now, the street here only open to people who live back here. The sheriff's office doesn't want people driving down these flooded streets, creating a wake that causes more problems for the homeowners. But the water has come up a good bit in the last couple of hours. And we're told in this community, the water basically does this. It creeps up, and then it could stay here for days, causing a big problem for a lot of the people who live here for quite some time. In St. James Parish, Natasha Robin, back to you.
Thank you very much for that. You know, the home that was behind her originally, I could see in the background there was a dog. He was patrolling that little area right there. That was.
It's skin of the teeth in that neighborhood.
It really was.
It really is.
He's watching it come up on his own home. All right, we still got a lot more here ahead at 5. We're going to check in on the Bayou Sorrel area where a lot of the folks there are concerned about floodwaters and exactly where they will end up next. Our historic flooding coverage continues. Stay with us.
Bayou Sorrel is used to rising water. It typically bottlenecks here before reaching
Our historic coverage of the flooding, which is historic in 2016, continues. Let's check in now on our neighbors in Bayou Sorrel.
Let's go to Courtney Ann Jackson, who's live.
Now we are at the Bayou Sorrel Bridge here. It just reopened at 4 o'clock and will close again at 6. It's been closing from 6 to 6 to allow this bridge to otherwise stay open. The folks on the other side of the canal say it's a little bit of an inconvenience when they need to make errands on this side. However, it is a good thing, they say, if you look at how much the water is rushing through, to have that water flowing towards the basin.
Bayou Sorrel is used to rising water. It typically bottlenecks here before reaching the locks. They're counting themselves lucky this go around.
We are hoping for no more rain, and I really believe that we should start seeing it fall in the next day or so.
These are the locks that Iberville Parish officials say are saving this community from going underwater.
Allowing about 1 foot and 4/10 of water to flow out, and that's the only thing that's saving Bayou Sorrel at this time.
As we rode down the canal, you could see water creeping closer to homes.
People down here commercial fishing crawfish, and they've never seen it this high on this side. I mean, we've seen it real high on the spillway side and the Chaffalot Basin side, but never this side yet.
While it may not be inside, some folks are surrounded by water.
We never thought it'd get this high down here where we live at.
Still, folks are landlocked while the Bayou Sorrel Bridge is closed, aside from 2 hours each morning and 2 each night.
Normally you can go right up under the pylons on the bridge, and it's just so high right now you can't make it. It's right up to the bottom, within inches from touching the bridge itself, actually.
They're asking folks to stay off the water south of the bridge because they don't want them near the locks. North of there, people are using boats to get back and forth for errands.
As I mentioned, this bridge will close at 6 o'clock, and so just an hour from now or a little less, it won't open up back again until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and will be open for 2 hours, just until 8 o'clock, so that water can rush back towards the basin and keep these homes from getting flooded out. In Iberville Parish, I'm Courtney Ann Jackson. Back to you.
Thank you, Courtney. And of course, the man of the hour is going to be Steve Caparata.
We're going to check in with him right after the break.
This is meteorologist Steve Cap. This is meteorologist Steve Caparata from the team that promises to alert you first.
All right, I want to start you out with a look at radar right now because we do have showers and a few storms rolling through the area. In fact, one's now moving up the river from St. James into Lower Ascension Parish between Sorrento and Donaldsonville. Convent in on the rains as well, just as some of you are watching. The high water's not too far away from here. Water creeping up as we saw earlier in the newscast. As we bring you in closer to Baton Rouge, pretty hefty downpour right across the river as you cross I-10 into Port Allen, or if you're taking 190 out towards Irwinville, you're going to hit some heavy rain. And then just off out across the basin west of Addis, we've got some downpours as well. Rain extends just east of False River. Now another shower coming up on the west side, and then rain's moving through Jackson. Looks like a storm developing not far from Wakefield, north of Livonia, and a little more rain developing around Woodville. Please keep an eye out for lightning as you're out and about today and over the next several days. Many more people outside than usual. 83 right now in Baton Rouge. It did get up into the 90s before the rains moved on in. It's mostly good news along the A-Meet now in terms of the trend. Denham Springs almost below flood stage. Let's cheer that. Bayou Manchac Point, though, still 16.6, 14 feet in Port Vincent. Both of those sites not below flood stage probably until Friday. French Settlement, maybe a very slow fall now underway, 8.5 feet. And Maurepas looks to be getting near the crest at 5.7. Pretty good news along most of the tick fall, but still pretty high, really high actually at Killian Springfield at 5.9 feet. Now, through the remainder of the evening, showers should diminish once the sun goes down. Upper 70s around midnight. We start out in the mid 70s tomorrow morning. Isolated showers by lunchtime. Rain chances 40% into the afternoon on Thursday. Highs in the low 90s. Showed this earlier in the afternoon. The waters in Lake Pontchartrain at Mandeville have come up more than a foot since Friday. How much rain has been dumped on the area? Well, if you assume the entire lake has come up a foot, that equates to roughly over 50 billion gallons of water, or enough water to supply East Baton Rouge Parish public demand for about 2 years. Just incredible stuff when you think about how much water that is. Fortunately, right now, the heavier rains are up to our northwest, but we're still dealing with scattered showers and storms. That will continue to be the trend right on through the week and on into the weekend. Showed you earlier in the afternoon, Tropical Storm Fiona out in the Atlantic. Not too worried about that. Daily rain chances roughly 40 to 50%. High temperatures within a degree or two of 90 degrees. Stay with us. We're coming back to wrap up 9 News at 5.
We're back here with more of our continuing coverage.
If you have to get back to work and you need a place for your kids who are out of school, BREC is organizing 6 emergency camps across the parish. The camps are being held at these parks until schools do open back up: Independence, Highland Road, Jackson, Zachary, Community Parks, and the T.D. Bickham Park in Baker and Cedar Ridge. Now, these camps will be $14 a day, $50 a week per child. Parents can just show up on the day or days they want and register their kids same day right there on the site. They'll pack the days with lots of fun and things for kids to do, and I'm sure the money has a lot to do, Greg, with supplies and food.
Absolutely, and you know, they got to get people there to be able to work and service those camps, but this will be a good thing for a lot of people. The zoo was open today. Admission was only $1.50, and it's just a way to also get your kids out if you need to get them out of the house.
Cabin fever, right?
Yeah, just get their minds on other things. We're going to stand by to check in with the CBS Evening News. There's been a lot of questions on just how the national networks are covering the situation here in Baton Rouge. You'll be able to see that firsthand coming up. We'll also be back to continue our coverage of the historic flood of 2016 at 6 o'clock. We're going to check in with neighbors all across our viewing area, including what's going on in Alligator Bayou.
In the meantime, check WAFB.com.
We'll see you back here.